On one final note, I want to know, because you're the person, I want to know if you have anything to say about this, but I learned the way I learned to write was cursive, and I could do cursive writing very, very young. I taught myself to read at like 3. So I just naturally was reading early. No one made me, and I could write then. It was always in cursive. That was what my signature was the first thing I had to learn how to do. My son, by going to Waldorf, I was very adamant about it must be cursive. I don't want him to be printing, and here's why. If you could explain to the listener the importance of cursive writing, and because I'm super concerned, again, as another way of how we're setting them up to fail, because you're the person that illuminated me to it a very, very, very long time ago.
So again, just what you said, in Montessori and in Waldorf, they start with cursive. They don't. And it's interesting. When the child comes to school, which is usually about 6.5 or 7, what they do is they have them write a story. And what they will do is they will write in cursive. And the teacher can't read it, but the child can. And so the child reads it to the teacher. And it's usually, let's see if I can give you an example here. Because they always write in cursive because it's easier on the whole body. And then I'll explain what's happening brain-wise. So it'll look like this. So they read it to the teacher, and the teacher goes, wow, you are really into horses. And they go, yeah. And so the teacher said, would you like to see how I write it? And so she writes horse in cursive because it's a whole structure. It's a whole structure. When we write in cursive, both hemispheres of the brain are active. When you print, only the left side is active. Then what the child will do is in the next story, horse shows up all over their story. And they read their story to their friends, and horse shows up in their story.
Yeah.
You know, and now they've learned something that is contextually important for them. The same is true. They'll sing a song that they love. And then the teacher will write in cursive the words, you know, and it's like, oh, that's the symbol for this song, this word that I love so much. Yeah. And the big thing that's really important is when we print, first of all, the hand. Right now, we're not getting the hand development that we really need. And printing takes a lot more of hand development. There's this area here, the carpal area. When you look at hand development, and I wish I could show you the scans, the x-ray scans right now, but this whole area here of the carpal bones is vital for this kind of, all of the movements that we get, the very important movements. And that area, we only have at the age of 3, 2 carpal bones, only 2. At the age of 13, we have more, but it's not until the age of 20, 21 when you get the full complement of all the carpal bones. That's when great pianists do a good job because they have all of this flexibility, this amazing flexibility. They've been using their hands. Okay, so in order to hold a pen and printing is very exact. Mm-hmm. You have to have these carpal bones. And we're asking our children who don't have them, that aren't developed, to do something that is totally inappropriate. Whereas cursive is very fluid. It actually allows us to think faster, to put information on a paper faster. And it's using both hemispheres. So we've got both the detail and the global understanding together to write. You know, all my books have been written first in cursive. Yeah. I sit down and I write my books in cursive. If I have a block, which happens now and then, a writer's block, I do the infinity sign, which is what we tell children. It's an 8 lying on its side. It's a lazy 8. flying. Making sure we go up in the center because we're following, again, a central meridian. We're doing that. And just working this, you know, over and over with one hand, and then with the other hand, and then both. And what you're doing is you're forcing both hemispheres to be very active so that you have all that you need